All right, so this is May-June 2021, variant 1-3. I've done the 20 questions. I've done the previous 20 questions in the previous class. I'll do the remainder now. All right, so two carbon-containing products result from the reaction of alkene Z with hot concentrated sulfide manganate. So Z could either be, can be one of these. So they're saying one product forms an orange precipitate with 2,4-Dn pH. So that means it should be, now with alkenes, oxidation of alkene either gives you carbon dioxide water, or it gives you ketone, or it gives you acid. Yeah. So this will definitely be a ketone that gives you 2,4-Dn pH precipitate. The other product is a gas which gives a white precipitate with aqueous calcium hydroxide. So the other product is a gas. Let's see. So what will be that gas that gives you a white precipitate with calcium hydroxide? Calcium hydroxide, you know, is alkaline or basic. And you know, it can't be acid because acid, carboxylic acid is not a gas. So this would be what? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide with alkali or acid. You know, carbon dioxide is an acidic gas. So acid plus alkali gives you, yeah, so you will get, so it gives a white precipitate. So that white precipitate would be the salt. Acid plus alkali giving you salt and water. So one side of the alkene must be making a ketone, one side must be making carbon dioxide and water. Butene. So let's see, this is butene. From both sides, you have a HC. So both sides will give you carboxylic acid. Can't be the answer. Then 2-methyl-propene. So 2-methyl-propene. This side gives you carbon dioxide water. This side gives you ketone. The answer therefore is B. Clear? Can we see? 2-methyl-butene. So 2-methyl-butene. This side gives you ketone and this side gives you acid. Clear? Because carbon with the double bond. So carbon with the double bond has two carbons. So this will give you a ketone. Carbon with the double bond has one hydrogen, one carbon. So this will give you acid. Can't be the answer. Propene. This is propene. This side will give you carbon dioxide water. This side will give you carboxylic acid. Answer is B. What is the correct mechanism for the addition of hydrogen bromide to ethene? So this is electrophilic addition. So for electrophilic addition, what is the correct mechanism? You need to see the partial charges, etc. Now, in HBr, so they are saying the Br is partial positive. Can that be true? No, the Br should be partial negative. The Br is not the electrophile. The H is the electrophile. So this is correct. And you will show an arrow from the pi bond to this. That is correct. Then this bond will break. Both the electrons will go to Br, partial negative. That is correct. You will get a carbocation. That is correct. And then you have a Br anion. That is correct. And then the arrow from the electrons to the recipient. That is correct. Clear? So this one right here. So right here, this is wrong. And this is correct. I'm just going to point out the mistakes and all the mechanisms so you understand. B is right. 22 is B. Let's see why not 20. Why not C? Because again, this is wrong. This should be partial negative. Then this is correct, but this arrow is wrong. It should not be from hydrogen to the pi bond. It should be from the pi bond to the hydrogen electrophile. Clear? 23. Halogenoalkanes react with nucleophiles such as OH. Which pair of halogeno both will react via SN1? So SN1 is seen in tertiary halogenoalkanes, and even secondary can undergo it, but not primary, because primary undergo SN2. So let's see. This is a carbon with a halogen with 3 neighboring carbons. This is tertiary. This right here is also tertiary. Therefore, the answer is A. Do you see this is also tertiary? Carbon with 3 neighboring carbons and a halogen. Can't be this. Carbon with a halogen has 1 and 2 neighboring carbon, this is secondary, and this is primary. Can't be the answer. Both are primary, can't be the answer. This is tertiary, and this is primary, can't be the answer. Answer is A. 24. A mixture of ethanol and methanol is burned in oxygen to produce this much of carbon dioxide and 55 cm³ of water. The complete combustion occurs and the volumes of both products are measured at 101 kilopascals and 120 degrees Celsius. What is the molar ratio of ethanol and methanol in the mixture? So now they are saying that they are burning they're burning at this temperature and this pressure. So they're saying that now you need to find what the molar ratio of ethanol and methanol. So we have 35 cm³ of carbon dioxide and 55 cm³ of water. Ethanol is C2H5OH, methanol is CH3OH. This burns in oxygen, giving 2 moles of CO2 plus H2O. This burns in oxygen, giving you CO2 plus H2O. So you have 2 moles of carbon here, 1 of here, 6 here. So you will put 3 here. Then you have 2 2s are 4 and this 7. So this will be 3 because 3 2s are 6 and this is the 7th. Right here, this is 4 hydrogen. So you put 2 here. This is 2 and 2, 4 oxygens. So you will put 1.5 here because 1.5 times 2 is 3 and then 1, 4. Now they are saying that complete combustion occurs and they're measuring the volume at this. So they're saying what is the molar ratio of ethanol and methanol in the mixture. Now we know that both of them will give you carbon dioxide and water. And they've given you the total carbon dioxide and water. Now, how to get the molar ratio? What will you do? How will you get the molar ratio? If you're not sure about the second reaction, let's see the other options. Formation of both ethanol and sodium hydroxide results in color change. Is that true? No. The second reaction has no color change. Only the first one does because that's oxidation. Formation of ethanol is catalyzed by potassium dichromate. No, that is the oxidizing agent. It is not a catalyst. Formation of sodium ethoxide is a dehydration. What do you mean by dehydration? Removal of water. Is that what's happening here? No, you are removing H2. So even if you weren't sure about the second part of this, that whether it's redox or not, you can eliminate the other options and you can see the only option that is correct is A. Clear? Even though we haven't specifically said that this is a redox reaction, and it kind of is, you see, it's just like acid reacting with a metal to give you a salt. Is that redox? Yes. Salt and hydrogen gas. Yeah, but even if you weren't sure, you know B is wrong because both will not result in a color change. You know C is wrong because it is not catalyzed. You know D is wrong because ethoxide ion formation is not dehydration. Clear? Dehydration is removing water. It's not removing water, it's just removing H2. 26. Skeletal formula of 3 compounds are shown. So this one right here is what? A carbon with a C double bond O, and the rest of it is H. So this is an aldehyde. Let's see S. S is carboxylic acid. Let's see T. T is C double bond O with a single bond O. This is an ester. Which compound will give a positive test with 2,4-DNPH? That will be just aldehyde, R. 27. Diagram shows structure of a compound formed by the reaction of HCN with carbonyl compound. So we know carbonyl compound with HCN. What is that mechanism? Carbonyl with HCN is what? Nucleophilic addition. Now the mechanism is nucleophilic addition. Can't be A, can't be B. Now functional group in X. What will be the functional group in X? Let's see. So they're saying aldehyde or ketone. Now you know that the CN comes in place of, so if you had C with a C4H9 with a CH3 with a double bond O, yeah, that is your only possibility, because the CN will come here and the H will go here. Yes, so definitely this is a ketone, because you see you have carbon on both sides. Yeah, so this is a ketone. So the answer therefore 27 is D. Compound Y is treated with a single reagent under suitable conditions. 2-methyl-butanoic acid is produced. So what could be compound Y? So they're saying you heat it under single reagent. 2-methyl-butanoic acid is produced. So this is pentane 2-one. This is a ketone. Can this become acid? No, because can ketones oxidize? No. 2-methyl-butane 2-ol. 2-methyl-butane 2-ol means that this is a secondary alcohol. Or 2-methyl-butane 2-ol, in fact, won't be secondary either. It will be tertiary, because it is 2-methyl-butane 2-ol. Do you see it's a tertiary alcohol? So this is tertiary. Can tertiary oxidize? No. 2-methyl-butane nitrile. Can nitrile become acid? Yes. Nitriles can make acid. How? By hydrolysis. So you have 2-methyl-butane nitrile. Let's see. So 2-methyl-butane nitrile. So 2-methyl, this is butane nitrile. What will this become? This will become, on hydrolysis, carboxylic acid. And this will be what? 2-methyl-butanoic acid. Is that what you get? Yes. The answer is C. 29. Two reactions are shown. So right here you have acid with LiAlH4. So this will be reduction. And what will this give you? This will give you a primary alcohol, because acids reduce to primary alcohols. Then you have CO2, CH3. This is an ester. Yeah. So this ester is CH3, CO2, CH, CH3 twice. So this is what it is. Now this is your ester. So they're saying when this hydrolyzes, which alcohol will you get? So I told you everything after the C single bond O comes from the alcohol. So this will be your alcohol. And which type of alcohol is this? Secondary. So this is a secondary alcohol. The answer therefore is P is primary, Q is secondary, B. Question 30, spectrometry. What could be the identity of Z? So right here, do you see any C double bond O peak? Remember that was a strong sharp peak at 1700. Do you see that here? No. Where is a strong sharp peak? It's supposed to be a strong sharp peak. Is this strong and sharp? No, this is not strong. Strong is supposed to be like this, dipping down to more than 50% of the graph. So there's no C double bond O. Can't be A because it has a C double bond O. Can't be B because it has C double bond O's. Can't be this. Can't be C either because no C double bond O. The answer therefore is D. Very evident. Just based on one peak, you can figure out the whole thing. 31. No other combination is correct. Let's see. 31. Which statement about first ionization are correct? They're always endothermic. Yes, all ionization energies are endothermic. They decrease down the group. Yes, ionization energy decreases down the group and increases across the period. Decrease across the period? No, the answer is B. Then you have this. They're showing decomposition of 3 moles of iron containing chromium and an acidic solution. So let's see. They're saying 1 mole of 1 mole of this is getting reduced. So let's see. Let's see. Is it getting reduced? So right here you have CrO4 3 minus, and this is becoming CrO4 2 minus. So let's find the oxidation state of Cr. X plus 4 times minus 2 is equals to minus 3. X plus 4 times minus 2 is equals to minus 2. What is this value? X is equals to minus 3 plus 4 2s are 8. This comes out to be plus 5. X is equals to minus 2 plus 4 2s are 6. 4 2s are 8. So this comes out to be plus 6. Is it getting reduced? Is it getting reduced? So it's going from chrome, this is plus 5 and this is plus 6. But this is also plus 3. Do you see? Chromium here is plus 3. So out of the 3 moles here, 2 are becoming plus 6. 1 is becoming plus 3. Is it getting reduced? Yes. It's going from plus 5 to plus 3 and that's just 1 mole. So that is true. Yeah? Yeah? 2 moles of chromate are 2 moles of this are oxidized. Are they oxidized? Yes, 2 moles are oxidized. Do you see? 3 moles of electrons are transferred. Will that be 3 moles of electrons? Let's see. No, that'll be 4 moles of that won't be 3 because you see charges on both sides. That's not 3. The charges here are plus 3 plus minus 2. And over here it's minus 3 plus 1. So this is not 2 moles of 3 moles of electrons. Therefore, the answer is 1 and 2. That is B. Disaccharides are hydrolyzed in slightly acidic solutions. This reaction is very slow. Biological catalyst is added to speed up the rate. Hydrolysis reaction remains slow for sucrose and maltose, but is now much faster for lactose. State the type of it. So, you know, obviously, if you're adding a catalyst, a biological catalyst is an enzyme. And you know, enzymes are specific. So if you have added it and if it speeds up for lactose, that means it must be specific to lactose. Yeah. The catalyst increases the activation energy. Is that true? Is it increasing the activation? No, it decreases the activation energy. Answer is C. The catalyst shows specificity. Yes, that's why it's only working for lactose. Hydrolysis of lactose is different mechanism to the hydrolysis. Yes, okay. We know the answer is C because 1 is wrong. Even if you haven't studied about lactose, you see, it doesn't really matter because you have studied about the catalyst and just that will eliminate option 1. 34. Element X is a solid in room conditions, it occurs as a contaminant of fossil fuels. Its oxide Y is formed when fossil fuels are burnt. In the atmosphere, Y can be further oxidized to Z. All right. Which statement about X, Y, and Z are correct? So it is solid under room conditions. So maybe because they're talking about it burning in air and oxidizing in air, can we consider that to be what? Sulfur? Yeah. Just randomly thinking. Because you see, they said it is further oxidized to Z. In the atmosphere, it can further be oxidized to Z. So you know in the atmosphere, SO2 becomes SO3. So I'm just thinking out loud that maybe element X is sulfur. It is solid under room conditions, yes. Its oxide is formed when fossil fuels are burnt. Okay, so that would be SO2. In the atmosphere, it can further be oxidized to SO2 to SO3. Which statement about is correct? Now, the atoms of X have paired p electrons. So let's see sulfur. Sulfur has how many electrons? 16. The configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p, 15, 16 electrons. So this will be 3p, 3p, 10, 11, 12, 4, 3p4, right? 3p4, 16 electrons. This is 10, 12, 16. So 3p4. All right, so atoms of X have paired p electrons. Will p be paired? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have a paired p electron? Okay. Atmospheric oxidation is a catalyzed reaction. Do you know this requires Nitrogen monoxide, nitrogen dioxide catalyst. Do you remember that? It's catalytic conversion or oxidation. Yes. With water, Z forms a strong acid. What is Z? Z is SO3. So SO3 with water makes what? Zoom got stuck. So right here, 36, I will repeat. As we go across the period, metallic bond strength increases. Why? Because the charge increases and the radius decreases, and that's what metallic bond strength depends on. So the charge is increasing, yes. There are more delocalized electrons, yes. And there is the radius decreases. That is also correct. The answer for 36, therefore, is A. Then 37. Each carbon in the brominated carbon is chiral. So you have carbon with 1 bond, 2 bond, 3 bond, fourth. Fourth is a hydrogen. Now, are all 4 different? Yes. Br, H. Now let's see the rest. If I want to see the rest, you see this side is different from this side because this side has 3 bromines and that side has 2. So yes, it is chiral. That is correct. 37, 1 is correct. The molecular formula is C12H20Br6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh crap, I thought we could just count the BRs and maybe we'd have more BRs, but no. Okay, so C, maybe the C's, just count the C's. I hope that is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. We'll have to get the hydrogens. All right. So you have 1 hydrogen here. You have 2 hydrogens here. You have 2 hydrogens here. 1 hydrogen here. 1 hydrogen here. 2 here. You have 2 here. Please keep counting. 1 here. 1 here. 2 here. 2 here. How far have we reached? 1 here. 18. Can it be correct? Nope. Therefore, the answer would be D. The CCC bond angles all are 120. If you see, all carbons are sp3 hybridized. So sp3 will be 109.5. Bromoethane reacts with NaOH in different ways depending on the solvent used. Which row about these is correct? So bromoethane is a halogenoalkane with NaOH. One is aqueous NaOH and the other is with ethanol. So one is with water, the other with ethane 1,2-diol. No, not 1,2-diol. It's with ethanol. Therefore, one is wrong. The answer then, all right. Oh, no. Never mind. They're saying organic product. Okay. So with water, if you have bromoethane, let me take bromoethane. When you react it with water, with aqueous NaOH, this will become ethanol. Just ethanol, not ethane 1,2-diol. Clear? So one is wrong. The answer therefore is C. Let's see the other options. So if you have bromoethane and you react this with ethanol, they are saying. So if you react it with ethanol, bromoethane reacts with NaOH and ethanol. So NaOH and ethanol will give you what? Elimination. It will give you an alkene. So this HBr will be gone. Ethene, that is true. With water, you will get ethanol. Yes, the answer is C. 3 compounds, X, Y, and Z are shown. Which statement is correct? Let's see. X reacts with alkaline iodine. Yes, because you see, for carbonyl compounds to react with iodine or the iodophore reaction, you need a carbonyl carbon with a neighboring CH3. Do you see it as a CO with a CH3? This is true. Y reacts with toluenes. Yes, that is true because Y is an aldehyde. So it will react with toluenes. Z does not react with iodine. Let's see. So Z is acid. Yes, it does not react with iodine. Answer is A. All right, the last one. 5-hydroxypentanoic acid is readily converted into cyclic compound L. Which statement about this reaction is correct? So you have 5-hydroxypentanoic acid. So on carbon 5, this is your carbon 1, carbon 2, 3, 4, 5. And they basically undergo esterification. So this loses the H, this loses the OH, and it makes a ring compound like this, giving you an ester linkage right here. Acidified dichromate is used as a reagent. No, what do we use? We use concentrated H2SO4 as a catalyst for esterification. Answer is therefore C. Water molecule is produced in the reaction. Yes, that is true because you remove H and OH. Reaction can be catalyzed by H2SO4. Yes, the answer is C. Is this clear?